Let's come now to Mizoram. And remember, Mizoram is very important because typically it's been a battle between the Congress and the MNF. The MNF has currently been in power, so you typically expect that the Congress should this time win. That's how the state has oscillated since it was formed. So in Mizoram, I want to show you the vote share percentages first. And there's also the Zoram People's Movement, which really is a coming together of civil society groups. In some ways, you could call it, I don't know, people would be offended, like the ARP of Mizoram, where you've got a motley group of people coming together and putting up a contest. So here for the first time are the India Today Access My India vote share numbers for the state of Mizoram. The MNF India Today projects will be at 27% of the vote share. The ZPM, which really in the last elections only had 8 seats, they fought separately, weren't even together as a whole, will get a whopping 49%. That's like Afghanistan winning the World Cup, not just doing well, but actually winning the World Cup. The Congress at 20%, the BJP at 2%. They were really never in the race. It's largely a Christian state. 27 and 20. Even if the MNF and the Congress got together, they still have lesser votes than the ZPM. This is electorally a miracle. This is a bit like what happened in Tripura, where the BJP went from 2 and they formed the government by bringing the mighty CPIM down. This is quite magical in the state of Mizoram. Let's now translate this into seats. If you look at the 40-seat assembly of Mizoram, Access My India is projecting for the India Today group that the ZPM will get 28 to 35, the MNF from 3 to 7. This, Pradeep Gupta, is actually the biggest surprise. You're projecting that Afghanistan is winning the World Cup.
Yeah, it is going to be the same like what happened in Delhi, Pradesh, when in 2013 election, Aam Aadmi Party could secure 27 seats, surprising everybody. Last time in Mizoram, they could not form the party, the ZPM. So all the candidates fought independent and they won 8 seats, and the Lal Dohama is led the ZPM movement. He is the ex-MP of Congress party in 1984.
That's right. He comes from the the older generation.
This 40%
IPS
of the
officer,
respondents say they want
same
him to
again
be
like
CM.
Arvind Kejriwal situation, IRS, and he was the IPS officer, and he fought election last time with 2 seats and won both the seats. And this time, can you imagine, he is likely to secure 49% vote with as high as 35 seats out of 40 seats. So it's like sweeping the entire Mizoram.
The reason for this, a couple of things which are interesting here. One is the last time they could not get an election symbol.
Yes.
Because they did not get their recognition in time. So they had to contest as individuals. Now they've come together. Many of them are ex-congressmen. And I think, yes, the ARP analogy is well taken. This is the 2015 moment of Mizoram. And most of the people who've gone with the ZPM are youth. You see, the church plays a big role in a state with 85% Christian population. But the youth want a change. They want to see, not as if the leader is young. He's 74 years old. He's not, in that sense, he's different to Arvind Kejriwal. Yeah. He's not in his 40s. He's a 74-year-old. But he's saying, enough of these, of the Congress and the MNF. Yeah. Let's try something new.
But Rajdeep, what does it say about the Congress? Because you've had a Rahul Gandhi who spent a considerable amount of time in Manipur. They would have hoped what happened in Manipur would have reflected in the neighboring Mizoram. And here, you have the Congress absolutely nowhere. So if Supresh Raith is still with us, it's a question for the Congress to take.
Excellent point, because in the Northeast, we've seen, not just in Mizoram, Preeti, in state after state, the Congress used to once dominate the Northeast. If these numbers are right, you're completely barren in the Northeast. Not a single state of the Northeast is going with the Congress, and it's ZPM, a party in a way created out of the womb of the Congress, that people are turning to, and not the Congress party, Supriya Shinde, in a state bordering Manipur.
No, so I have got your question very partly. There is a problem in the audio, but I get your question on Mizoram and the Congress party's position there. I think what I will say before I come back to the Congress party's position there is, I am very glad to see that Mizoram has actually taught the BJP a lesson. Because the Mizoram Chief Minister said Mr. Modi should not come there. There's palpable anger. He did not go to Manipur. That anger has, metastasized into Mizoram. So I do believe the numbers will be a little better than what they are suggesting here. But it's a resounding vote against...
That lesson has come at your cost. Because the Congress made Manipur an issue. You had Rahul Gandhi who was in Manipur.
You can come to me after I'm done. I think it's an extremely important, extremely emotive point. The fact that the Prime Minister chose not to go to Manipur is going to cost him dearly, not just here, but you wait and watch in the rest of this country. I think
but what has the Congress gained out of it, Ms. Srinath? Because your leader went to Manipur.
I'm not entirely...
It's very ironical that you're saying the BJP, it's a largely Christian state, the BJP hardly even contested. Amit Shah and the others didn't even go there. The Congress, which should really have benefited from the anti-incumbency, has ceded ground to the ZPM. Kaushik Deka joins us, heads India Today Northeast for the India Today Network. Kaushik, the emergence of the phenomena of the ZPM didn't even contest as a proper party in the last election to now sweeping the post-poll study. Explain that to us.
See, ZPM, though it was not a party in this form, ZPM head Ladan Hoa, he has been there for quite some time. I see it actually as an AAP phenomenon over there. Only that in AAP's case, in Delhi, the turnaround happened in just 3-4 years, but this party took a lot of time. It was usually seen as an urban party. And Mizoram, if you see, it's a rural state mainly. But because of internet, what has happened, all the things that he used to preach earlier, now those things are getting into the rural areas. So people are reacting to that. What AAP could achieve in Delhi in quick time, this party took time, but now it has succeeded and people are responding to the new form of politics. They have seen Congress, they gave a chance to the regional party also. Now they are trying to someone who is talking about corruption, who is talking about unemployment, who is talking about drug issues in a constructive way. So I think that what earlier was seen as an urban phenomenon, now it has gone down to the rural areas.
Rajdeep Gupta, is a state like Mizoram tougher to poll than say a Madhya Pradesh or Rajasthan?
Very tough. In all northeastern states,
no, but particularly... No, Rajdeep, I'll tell you one second.
No.
Just think of it not in terms of the state, but in terms of statistics. You are trying to capture the vote share of a new political formation.
That is one.
If it is an MNF versus Congress fight, it's relatively easier.
And secondly,
here you are trying to poll a new
it's like
political
an
formation.
average 20,000 voters in each constituency.
So how do you get the right numbers?
And that to 3 party.
Fair enough.
And
Yes,
that
Rahul,
to incumbent party.
Yes, Rahul.
Like MNF.
In some ways, ZPM may look like AAP phenomena, but ZPM is also very, very different because the constituent parties of ZPM are old political parties of Mizoram. So basically JNP, Zoram Nationalist Party, is an old party. Mizo People's Conference is an old party. Mizo People's Congress is an old party. So what has happened that these 6 parties tried to come together last time, and they got 8 seats, but they had combined 28% vote share. So it's not like, so they're like, of course, it's a big jump from 28 to 49, but it's not that they had no base in the state.
No, I think
Same like Aam Aadmi Party in 13.
No, sure.
And they won in
2018 was
15.
their 2013 moment of the Aam Aadmi Party. This is their 2015 moment. But I'm just wondering, Chetan, do you believe, and you talk to a lot of young people, in general, do young people want the idea of new parties? We're looking at all these big states where we've got the same old parties running these states. Then you turn to Mizoram, and suddenly you've got a new party coming up. Do you think there is space in Indian politics for new ideas with new parties?
I think
you were a promoter of AAP at one moment in your other avatars.
We were all. But I think freshness is something, and it's got nothing to do with the candidates. It's about the freshness of the idea. And I think someone presents a fresh idea, no matter how old they are, they can still resonate with the youth. There's a lot of new voters. They do have a cool... You said they didn't have a symbol. Now they have a very cool symbol. A nice hat.
That's right. But the thing is, whether that's easier to do in a smaller state than a large state. Look at Delhi. Very confined area. You had the Aam Aadmi Party. The moment the AAP has tried to go into Madhya Pradesh or Rajasthan, they haven't been able to make any impact. I just wonder whether the smaller states are more, perhaps,
Yeah,
it's possible
and like
to break through there. You agree with that, Kaushik? We've seen from time to time in the Northeast, new small parties emerge, make a mark, but then fade away. The national parties take over.
We can't compare Delhi with Mizoram in terms of population. Delhi is far bigger. But in Mizoram, the election also happens in a very different way. There are multiple influences.
The church is a big player.
Yes, that's a very big player. And there is a community feeling and all that. And if
Did the church back the ZPM?
No, not exactly. They didn't oppose it also. But if you see before the elections, that Manipur conflict and Myanmar, that influx from Myanmar, Zoramthanga tried to actually appeal to this Mizo identity. But that also didn't work. That means the elections happened in a, I think when the numbers will come up, it will be a very close contest.
Why do you think the MNF lost? Is it corruption? The fact that they had identified with the BJP, which in turn was seen to have not stood by the Kuki-Zo community in Manipur?
No, MNF actually stood by Kuki-Zo
No, the
community.
BJP had not. And the MNF was seen to be in partnership with the BJP.
Yes,
much later did they break away?
No, they haven't broken away. They are still the partners, but in every case, when the first influx happened also, Zoramthanga actually defied the central government. So the whole thing was that...
So it's not a Manipur effect?
Manipur didn't play any role. I think the no action. They have seen Congress, no action. They have seen Zoramthanga. They had expectations. This was another chance to Zoramthanga, who was the original rebel. But nothing happened, nothing moved. So they are trying another person. And in Manipur or Mizoram, in smaller states, leadership plays a role and constituencies are very small. So person to person connect is also very important, and he has been working at it